Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very, I guess you could say, harrowing experience that's about to come to an end here. I have finally managed to complete Ketsui Death Label's infamous Extra Mode course with 0 save states and survive. That's all the point is. I survived. I don't really need to say anything else. It's just that achievement alone, probably tantamount to anything you could see in a game today. Times 10. So, without further ado, let us cut to the chase and get to the main event, and probably what is to be my crowning achievement video, Ketsui Death Label, Extra Mode Clear. So, here we go on the Extra Mode course. I actually set another score record for this course. My previous record was around 95 million, that was even a save stated run. I save stated the hell out of the practice run so I could actually see what I was up against. And let me tell you, those runs were not legitimate. This one is. I will tell you that for a fact. I learned how to save state, but I did not abuse it. Not like other Let's Players out there. Because this is not Kaizo. Kaizo is unfair. Meaning you have to do it without saving. With every save state you can get. But enough of that. The introduction is done for, and we're in the actual footage. One thing I actually noticed was helpful towards this run was I actually watched a lot of the arcade version runs of Stage 5 and Ura Loop, the hidden loop, and found that a lot of the patterns you're going to see in both of these stages, being Ketsui 2.5 and Ketsui Death Label Extra, are virtually identical. And it's really surprising because a lot of those extra bits of help were because of the arcade game, which is completely different from the DS version. I'm actually impressed that it helped out a bit. However, there are quite a few differences, besides the effect that everything on the screen in the Ura Loop, you have bombs to protect yourselves. You usually have multiple lives, more so than just 2 lives, and you actually have more of a sporting chance. Don't get me wrong, this is... I consider Ketsui Death Label's Extra Mode to be fair, if not cruelly difficult, because it is. It's just tricky to work. For example, this run you're seeing right now, this is my non-save state run. It took me forever to pull this off. I believe it was about maybe 115 or so attempts where I kept on retiring to the main menu, and maybe about 40 that actually wound up me getting a game over, so I wound up restarting the course every single time. But it definitely paid off because I got a very strong idea of what the course was going to be like at the, well, I guess you could say hellish difficulties that this game is at right now. You're going to notice how I'm handling these prototype versions of your ship in a really unorthodox way. The method that most people advise is to actually stay perfectly still while they're going to land, because then they'll fire their missiles all around you, and you can just stand still. But these stealth bombers. The stealth bombers that used to be my worst enemy, now they're pretty much second nature. These things, on my save stated runs, just to get it from the evac report tile, those things gave me nightmares. Utter nightmares. I don't think I forgot. I don't know how I pulled that off. This run, the trickiest part of this run was making it to the bottom of the shaft. You see my bombs up in the top right. I haven't used any of them. To me, that was the only way I was ever going to beat this stage. 0 bombs. And I kept that mentality all the way through, because you have to remember, you get no extra lives. There's no Vinogradov extra life to save you. You're going to lose if you lose 1 life or bomb a few many times. But then, this thing, the gunship. The gunship is the bane of my existence. I swear to God. I don't care what you say, these gunships are without a doubt the most agonizing part of this course. They're also what made me reset 115 times. By the way, I landed right on the center of the helo pad that I start on. Up the shaft. Oh boy. I was nervous out of my mind when I faced Evaccaneer Doom on Extra Mode. I will say that much. The pattern on the first form, the very first pattern you deal with, the first time I ever got to Extra Mode Doom, I was literally obliterated in 2 seconds. The game starts. Blam. Game over. And the first form, it's tricky. When I learned out how to handle it, it's okay. The second form, second attack when it fires those waves at you, easy. This one, keep an eye on that third attack. You're going to see it much tougher later on. Then we get to this. The fourth form is pretty much easy if you compare it to the Death Label course, where it's virtually the same thing with only one color of gold, so you can't really discern. Form 2. The easiest of all forms in probably all of the forms of Doom that you're given. I mean, seriously. They could have stepped it up to a hellish difficulty with Evaccaneer Doom on Extra, but they didn't. I'm actually impressed with that. But this is why it's hard. He actually fires that line of bullets and an auto bomb there. That line of bullets will actually lock onto you and hone in on you. Then you get to the third form, which fires that attack, the same thing from the Death Label course, and the green waves. How this eventually worked out. The hitbox you need to worry about is not yours, although I just died there because of it. You need to worry about Doom's hitbox. Because what you can do, you can move closer and farther away from Doom to manipulate where it goes. And that attack right there, easily the most mind-numbing attack I've ever dealt with in this entire game. For a reason. But the hitbox manipulation strategy that I used and tried to perfect, obviously failed at some points, you actually can push Doom forward by moving close to him. And that was what eventually allowed me to complete the extra mode run. That dreaded extra mode run. I don't care what you say, I will not be putting up any other runs of extra mode. And the extra credits mode, however, this is different. What you're getting is the Death Label staff, not the arcade staff. The Death Label course credits were the arcade staff. The extra mode credits are the actual people that made the DS game. And you're seeing the pilots in close profile. Yuma. No, wait. That wasn't Yuma. I completely forgot the order. It was Lloyd? Oh my god, I forgot the order. I don't believe it. I want to say Lloyd, Alice, Steel, and Yuma. Yeah, Lloyd, Alice, Steel, and Yuma. And I'll be giving you a bit more info on Steel when I upload my upgraded Death Label course run. Then there is the Type A ship, the Tigerschwert, German for Tiger Sword. And then there's the Type B ship, the Panzerjäger, which is armor something. I'm not familiar with the meaning of Jaeger. I know it's Jägermeister, but I don't drink, so count that out. Evac Industry. Fun fact, Evac is K backwards. I have probably just blown your mind. Evaccaneer, easily the most frustrating boss in the entire set, except for Doom at times, but it's manageable. And finally, we get the actual thank you for playing screen with the Ketsui roster up in center stage. All in all, I have to say that the game, it was really worth it. It was worth getting the emulated version and practicing at it. At the end of the day, it's not as good as the original arcade game, by any sense of the word, but it is very good. In comparison, had I the chance to make it an arcade version, or even a pocket version for, like, say, a console, I wouldn't hesitate at the chance. So that's my take on Ketsui Death Label, and that is actually where I'm going to be signing off for now. I will be uploading a video of my improved run of the Death Label course, which actually posts a score of 1 billion. The run took me forever to actually perfect and get right, but it turned out almost perfectly. So I will be uploading that whenever I get the chance, and, well, I'll be seeing you. McKendrick out.